Welcome back to my untimely series of me looking at games a little too late for everyone. Today we're looking at EA's hot piece of shit, Battlefront 2. As always, I'm your host Ark, guy who plays games he hates. Today, I will not be talking about the bland, uneventful story, but instead, only talking about the multiplayer, the meat of the game. The multiplayer for this game consists of 5 game modes: Galactic Ass, Starship Ass, Heroes vs. the Mentally Challenged, and 2 other game modes nobody cares about. Because they're boring. Galactic Ass has you and a bunch of other players fight over some objectives with some really terrible choke points on some uninspired maps based on your favorite Star Wars areas, like the Death Star and everyone's favorite Starkiller base. Starship Ass has you doing more of that, except instead of being on foot as an infantry, you're on a ship with some of the worst auto-aim I've ever seen in my life. I mean, look at this. Why is it not shooting the ship in front of me? Why does it have to target that one? I don't want that one. Is this the Force? Is it forcing me to shoot that one? Then you get your Heroes vs. the Mentally Challenged game mode, where everyone places their favorite character from Star Wars. Like Lizard Guy and Hairy Guy. This one is a lot more straightforward than the others. You kill the guy who's targeted on the enemy team and protect the guy who's targeted on your team. Not too difficult, but boy oh boy is balance thrown out the window. Especially when it comes to star cards. But I'll talk about that disaster in a sec. The last 2 game modes are Blast and Strike. One is just a team deathmatch and the other is a smaller scaled Galactic Assault. No one plays either. The game lacks other modes that were added in the previous game, pulling itself its own Destiny 2, removing features that they added before. But who cares, right? It's just a Star Wars game. I love paying money for a Star Wars skin. So while recording, I just discovered that this was less of a review and more of a rant of how unbalanced this game was. So let's talk about the star cards, loot boxes, and how the level system for the class works. So to use a star card for a character, you need to unlock it via RNG in a loot box. You used to be able to buy these with real money, pushing for a pay-to-win experience. There are people who disagree, but let's give that a moment. There are 4 levels for a star card, level 1 being gray and level 4 being purple, kinda like Destiny, minus the exotic tier. Gray is worse than green, green is worse than blue, blue is worse than purple. The higher the tier, the bigger the bonus. You can get some pretty significant bonuses from the purples, like 10% damage? Really? Is this a joke? The only way to get them is via loot boxes, which people have purchased before, but you can't anymore. Or crafting parts, you get via loot boxes. So it's all up to luck?
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
That's some grade A balancing. But hold on, in EA's defense, DICE says players will be matched up in multiplayer based on skill, inventory, and playtime. Huh. So either I'm really good at this game, these people are really bad, or this is a lie. The game itself plays a lot like the previous, surprising no one. The only key difference is instead of picking up power-ups on the field, you earn points to play as the new classes, and the star cards are all equipped beforehand with the RNG. Amazing. As a whole, this game is worse than the first, and somehow, in some way, they managed to do it. I applaud them for that. At least it's sold pretty Wait. What? I guess that's it for this year. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy holidays. Have a good new year.